You've been told your whole life to drink 8 glasses of water a day, right? Well, here's the truth. No one talks about. After 50, drinking plain water might actually be making you more tired, not less. I know that sounds backwards, but what if I told you that every time you chug that bottle of water, your cells might be struggling to actually use it? That mid-afternoon fatigue, the muscle weakness, the brain fog, it's not about how much water you're drinking. It's about what's missing from that water. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up, you're doing everything right. You're drinking your water throughout the day. Maybe you've even got one of those fancy bottles that tracks your intake. But by 2 p.m., you're dragging. Your energy's gone. Your legs feel heavy climbing stairs. You sit down, and it's hard to get back up. And you're thinking, I'm hydrated, so why do I feel so drained? Here's what's actually happening inside your body after 50. Your cells are like tiny sponges, right? But imagine a dry, stiff sponge versus a new, flexible one. After 50, your cellular sponges don't absorb water the same way anymore. You can pour water over a dry sponge all day long, but if it's too rigid, the water just runs right off. That's exactly what's happening when you drink plain water after 50. Your kidneys aren't as efficient as they used to be. Their filtering function declines naturally with age. Your muscle mass has decreased, which means you have less water storage capacity in your body. And here's the kicker. Your thirst sensation gets blunted, so not only are you not absorbing water efficiently, but your body isn't even telling you when you need it. The result? You're drinking water, sure. But that water is passing through your system without actually hydrating your cells where the magic happens, where energy is produced, where your muscles function, where your brain operates. You're essentially flushing pure water through a system that desperately needs something more to grab onto that water and pull it into the cells. All right, let's talk about what's really going on at the cellular level, because this is where it gets fascinating. And I promise, I'm going to make this simple. Your body is made up of trillions of cells, right? And every single one of those cells has a tiny power plant inside it called a mitochondrion. These mitochondria are literally producing the energy, called ATP, that powers everything you do. Every heartbeat, every thought, every step you take. That energy production requires water, but not just any water. Here's the thing. Water doesn't just magically appear inside your cells. It has to be pulled in. And that pulling mechanism? It's called the sodium-potassium pump. Think of it like this. Imagine your cell is a nightclub, and the sodium-potassium pump is the bouncer at the door. This bouncer uses energy, ATP, to kick 3 sodium particles out of the cell and pull 2 potassium particles in. This creates an electrical charge, like a tiny battery. That electrical charge does something incredible. It creates a pressure difference that literally sucks water into the cell. Without that pump working efficiently, without enough sodium and potassium to fuel it, water just sits outside your cells. You're hydrated, according to how much you drank, but your cells are actually thirsty. Now, after 50, several things happen that make this system less efficient. First, your mitochondria, those cellular power plants, naturally start producing less ATP. It's not dramatic, but it's measurable. Less ATP means less energy to run those sodium-potassium pumps. Second, your kidneys, which normally do an amazing job of balancing your electrolytes, start to slow down. By age 60, kidney function can decline by up to 30–40%, even in healthy individuals. What are electrolytes? They're minerals that carry an electrical charge when dissolved in water. The big 3 are sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These aren't just nice to have. They're absolutely essential for cellular function. Sodium and potassium run that pump I mentioned. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, including energy production in those mitochondria. Here's where plain water becomes a problem after 50. When you drink pure water without electrolytes, you're actually diluting the electrolyte concentration in your bloodstream. Your body has to work harder to maintain the right balance. It's like pouring fresh water into a saltwater aquarium. You've got to add back the minerals to keep the fish alive. Think about it this way. Imagine you have a battery that's running low. You wouldn't just add water to recharge it, would you? You'd need the right combination of chemicals to create that electrical charge. Your cells are the same way. Plain water is like adding distilled water to a car battery. It might look like you're helping, but you're not providing what's actually needed to create energy. And here's something most people don't realize. As you age, you naturally lose electrolytes through your skin more easily. Your skin becomes thinner, more permeable. You sweat differently. You might be on medications that affect mineral balance. Blood pressure medications, diuretics, even common pain relievers can impact how your body handles sodium and potassium. So you end up in this vicious cycle. You're drinking plain water, feeling tired. So you drink more plain water to try to feel better. But without electrolytes, that water isn't reaching your cells efficiently. Your energy stays low. Your muscles feel weak because they need potassium to contract properly. Your brain feels foggy because neurons need sodium and potassium to fire correctly. You might even feel dizzy when you stand up, because your blood pressure regulation depends on proper electrolyte balance. This isn't about severe dehydration. This is about chronic, low-level cellular dehydration that flies under the radar. You're not collapsing. You're not in crisis. You're just tired, weak, not quite yourself. And everyone tells you it's just aging. But it's not just aging. It's your cells literally not getting what they need to produce energy efficiently. The science backs this up. Studies show that even mild electrolyte imbalances can reduce cellular ATP production by 20–30%. That's a massive energy deficit. And when your cells can't produce energy efficiently, everything suffers. Your muscles can't repair themselves as well after exercise. Your brain can't process information as quickly. Your heart has to work harder to pump blood. Your digestive system slows down. So here's what you need to do. And I want you to listen closely because this is simpler than you think. Stop drinking plain water. Start adding electrolytes to your water. Specifically, you need sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Now, before you panic about sodium, I know what you're thinking. But I've been told to avoid salt. What about my blood pressure? Here's the truth. The sodium scare has been largely overblown for healthy individuals. The problem was never sodium itself. It was excessive sodium from processed foods combined with inadequate potassium intake. The ratio is what matters. Research shows that adequate sodium intake, when balanced with proper potassium and magnesium, actually supports healthy blood pressure and cardiovascular function, especially in active adults over 50. Your body needs sodium. Your brain is about 85% water and requires sodium to maintain nerve signal transmission. Your muscles need sodium to contract. Every cell in your body depends on that sodium-potassium pump we talked about. Here's what happens when you drink electrolyte-enhanced water instead of plain water. Within 15 to 30 minutes of drinking it, those minerals start being absorbed in your small intestine. The sodium and potassium are quickly taken up into your bloodstream. Your body immediately recognizes what it needs and starts distributing these minerals to your cells. Now, here's where it gets really good. Those sodium-potassium pumps in your cell membranes, remember the ones that were struggling? They suddenly have the fuel they need. The pumps start working more efficiently. 3 sodium ions get pumped out, 2 potassium ions get pumped in. That creates the electrical gradient. And like a tiny magnet, that gradient pulls water into your cells. This is cellular hydration. This is actual, real hydration at the level where your body produces energy. And you'll feel the difference. Within the first few days of switching to electrolyte water, here's what you'll notice. Your energy levels start to stabilize. That mid-afternoon crash, it begins to soften. You might not even notice it at first. It's subtle. But after a week, you'll realize you're making it through the day without needing that 3 p.m. coffee or sugar snack. Your mental clarity improves. Brain fog starts to lift. Remember, your neurons, your brain cells, fire electrical signals using sodium and potassium. When these minerals are in proper balance, your brain literally works faster and more efficiently. You'll find yourself remembering things more easily, making decisions more quickly, and just feeling more sharp. Your physical stamina gets better. Those stairs that left you winded? Still a workout, but you're recovering faster. You can do more without feeling completely drained. Why? Because your muscle cells are properly hydrated and can produce ATP more efficiently. Your muscles can contract and relax more smoothly. You're not fighting against that cellular dehydration anymore. Your sleep quality often improves. This surprises people, but it makes sense. Magnesium, one of the key electrolytes, is crucial for muscle relaxation and nervous system regulation. When you're deficient, your body stays in a state of subtle tension. With adequate magnesium, your body can truly relax at night. You fall asleep easier and wake up feeling more refreshed. Your circulation improves. This is huge. Proper sodium and potassium balance helps maintain healthy blood pressure and supports the smooth muscle in your blood vessels. Better circulation means better oxygen delivery to all your tissues. You might notice your hands and feet aren't as cold. Colors might seem brighter because your eyes are getting better blood flow. Your recovery from exercise improves dramatically. Whether you're lifting weights, going for a walk, or doing yard work, your muscles recover faster when they're properly hydrated at the cellular level. You're not as sore the next day. You can maintain your activity level without feeling beaten down. Even your mood can stabilize. Low potassium and magnesium are associated with feelings of anxiety and irritability. When these minerals are balanced, your nervous system functions more smoothly. You might find you're less reactive to stress, more even-tempered throughout the day. Now, let's talk about what makes this different from just drinking sports drinks or those sugary electrolyte beverages. Most commercial sports drinks are designed for athletes who are sweating heavily during intense exercise. They often contain too much sugar and not enough of the key minerals you need for daily cellular function. What you want for daily hydration after 50 is a proper ratio. Approximately 500, 1,000 milligallars of sodium, 200, 400 milligallars of potassium, and 100 to 200 milligallars of magnesium per liter of water you drink. This isn't about chugging electrolytes all day. It's about consistent, balanced intake that matches what your body needs for optimal cellular function. And here's what's beautiful about this approach. You're not taking a pill or a supplement that your digestive system has to break down. You're not waiting hours for something to kick in. You're giving your body exactly what it needs, in a form it can use immediately, delivered directly to the cells that need it. This isn't about expensive supplements or complicated protocols. This is about understanding that your body after 50 has different needs than it did at 30, and meeting those needs intelligently. You're not fighting aging. You're supporting your body's natural processes so they can work the way they're designed to work. Think of it this way. You wouldn't put just any fuel in a high-performance car, right? You'd use the right fuel. Your body after 50 is like a refined, experienced machine. It needs premium fuel. Not more fuel, but better fuel. Electrolyte-enhanced water is that premium fuel for your cells. Now, let's go deeper into why each of these minerals matters and what else is happening in your body that makes this so important after 50. Let's start with sodium. Sodium has gotten such a bad reputation, but it's absolutely critical for life. Every heartbeat requires sodium. The electrical signal that makes your heart contract? That's sodium and potassium dancing together across cell membranes. Your kidneys need sodium to filter waste properly. Your digestive system uses sodium to transport nutrients across intestinal walls. After 50, you actually might not be getting enough sodium, especially if you've been following low-salt guidelines religiously. Recent research shows that for healthy, active adults, sodium intake between 3,000 and 5,000 milliliters per day is not only safe, but may be optimal for maintaining energy and cognitive function. Compare that to the average American getting most of their sodium from processed foods. That's the problem. The solution isn't to eliminate sodium. It's to get it from the right sources, balanced with other minerals. When you have adequate sodium in your system, your body can maintain something called fluid volume. This is the total amount of fluid in your blood vessels and tissues. Proper fluid volume means your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood. Your blood pressure can actually stabilize because your vessels have the right amount of fluid pressure. This is counterintuitive, I know, but low sodium can actually raise blood pressure in some people because your body releases hormones to try to hold on to the little sodium you have, and those hormones constrict blood vessels. Now, potassium. This is where most people after 50 are really deficient. The recommended daily intake is 4,700 milliliters, but most adults get less than half that amount. Potassium works in direct opposition to sodium. It's the yin to sodium's yang. While sodium pulls water into cells, potassium helps maintain the right balance so cells don't swell too much. But here's what's critical. Potassium is essential for muscle function. And I'm not just talking about your biceps. Your heart is a muscle. Your diaphragm that helps you breathe is a muscle. Your digestive tract has muscular walls. Every one of these muscles needs potassium to contract smoothly and efficiently. Low potassium, even mildly low, causes muscle weakness, fatigue, and cramping. Those leg cramps you get at night? Often that's low potassium. That feeling of heaviness in your legs when you walk upstairs? Low potassium might be contributing. And here's the scary part. Low potassium affects your heart rhythm. It can cause palpitations, irregular beats, and in severe cases, dangerous arrhythmias. After 50, your kidneys don't hold on to potassium as efficiently. You lose more through urine. If you're on blood pressure medication, many of those are diuretics that cause even more potassium loss. And most people don't eat enough potassium-rich foods to compensate. Bananas have potassium, sure, but you need to eat 10 bananas a day to hit your target. That's not practical. By adding potassium to your water intake, you're giving your body a steady supply throughout the day. Your muscles stay responsive. Your heart rhythm stays stable. Your energy stays consistent because your cells can maintain that critical sodium-potassium balance that drives everything. Then there's magnesium, the unsung hero. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions. It's required for DNA synthesis, protein production, and muscle and nerve function. But here's what makes it crucial for energy. Magnesium is necessary for ATP production itself. Remember those mitochondria, your cellular power plants? They can't produce ATP efficiently without magnesium. The enzymes that create ATP need magnesium to function. So if you're magnesium deficient, which up to 75% of adults are to some degree, your cells literally cannot produce energy at full capacity. You're running at 60% power, wondering why you're tired. Magnesium also regulates the sodium-potassium pump. It's like the oil in an engine. Without it, the pump works poorly, even if you have sodium and potassium present. Magnesium deficiency causes that pump to slow down, which means less water gets into cells, which means less ATP production, which means less energy. But magnesium does even more. It's nature's relaxation mineral. It helps muscles relax after they contract. It calms the nervous system. It improves sleep quality by supporting the production of GABA, a neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation. It even helps regulate blood sugar by improving insulin sensitivity, which is increasingly important after 50. Low magnesium contributes to chronic inflammation, one of the key drivers of aging itself. By maintaining adequate magnesium levels, you're not just supporting energy production, you're actually slowing down inflammatory processes that accelerate aging. Now, let's talk about how all of this connects to your cardiovascular system. Your heart and blood vessels are incredibly sensitive to electrolyte balance. Proper sodium levels help maintain blood volume, which reduces the strain on your heart. Adequate potassium helps your vessels relax and dilate, improving blood flow. Magnesium prevents calcium from building up in arterial walls and keeps vessels flexible. After 50, cardiovascular health becomes increasingly important. Heart disease is still the leading cause of death for both men and women. But here's what's empowering. Proper electrolyte balance is one of the most accessible, controllable factors in cardiovascular health. You don't need a prescription. You don't need expensive interventions. You need minerals that cost pennies per day. Better cardiovascular function means better oxygen delivery to every tissue in your body. Your brain gets more oxygen, improving cognitive function. Your muscles get more oxygen, improving endurance and recovery. Even your skin benefits. Better circulation means better nutrient delivery and waste removal, which can improve skin tone and healing. Let's talk about your nervous system. Every thought, every movement, every sensation you experience is an electrical signal moving through nerves. Those signals depend entirely on sodium and potassium. When these minerals are imbalanced, nerve signaling becomes sluggish or erratic. This affects more than just your thoughts. Your balance depends on nerve signals from your inner ear to your brain. After 50, falls become a major health risk, and poor nerve signaling contributes to balance problems. Proper electrolyte balance supports faster, more accurate nerve transmission, which can help maintain better balance and coordination. Your peripheral nerves, the ones in your hands and feet, are especially vulnerable to electrolyte imbalances. That numbness or tingling some people experience, often related to nerve dysfunction from poor mineral balance. By maintaining proper electrolytes, you support healthy nerve function throughout your body. And here's something that connects everything. Hydration status affects inflammation, chronic, low-level dehydration. the cellular kind we've been talking about, creates stress on your cells. When cells are stressed, they release inflammatory signals. Over time, this contributes to the chronic inflammation that underlies most age-related diseases: heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, cognitive decline. By properly hydrating at the cellular level with electrolyte-enhanced water, you reduce cellular stress. Less stress means less inflammation. Less inflammation means slower aging and better function across all body systems. Your digestive system benefits too. The muscles in your digestive tract need potassium and magnesium to move food through properly. Proper hydration helps maintain the mucus lining that protects your stomach and intestines. Better mineral balance improves nutrient absorption. You get more benefit from the food you eat. Your immune system depends on proper hydration. White blood cells need to travel through your bloodstream efficiently to fight infections. Antibody production depends on protein synthesis, which requires adequate magnesium. Even your body temperature regulation, something that becomes less efficient with age, depends on proper fluid and electrolyte balance. Here's the big picture. Everything in your body is connected. You can't isolate one system and fix it while ignoring others. But the beautiful thing about addressing cellular hydration with proper electrolytes is that you're supporting all systems simultaneously. You're giving your body the fundamental building blocks it needs to function the way it's designed to function. This isn't a magic bullet. This isn't going to reverse 30 years of aging overnight. But it is going to give your body the best possible foundation to maintain energy, strength, clarity, and vitality. And after 50, that foundation becomes increasingly important. All right, let's make this practical. What exactly should you do starting tomorrow morning? First, stop drinking plain water as your primary source of hydration. I'm not saying never drink plain water. I'm saying that the majority of your daily water intake should include electrolytes. Here's what I want you to try. When you wake up in the morning, before your coffee, drink 16 ounces of water with electrolytes. Your body has been fasting all night, and your electrolyte levels are naturally lower in the morning. This jump-starts your cellular hydration for the day. You have several options for adding electrolytes to your water. The simplest is to make your own electrolyte water at home. Here's a basic recipe. Mix 1 teaspoon of real sea salt, not table salt. Sea salt contains trace minerals. A pinch of potassium chloride, sold as salt substitute in grocery stores, and a small amount of magnesium powder or drops into 32 ounces of water. Add a squeeze of lemon or lime for taste. This gives you a good balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium without sugar or artificial ingredients. Alternatively, there are high-quality electrolyte powders and tablets available. Look for products with at least 500 milliliters of sodium, 200 milliliters of potassium, and 100 milliliters of magnesium per serving, with minimal or no sugar. Avoid the bright-colored sports drinks loaded with sugar. Those are designed for intense athletic performance, not daily cellular hydration. Throughout the day, aim to drink half your body weight in ounces of electrolyte-enhanced water. If you weigh 180 pounds, that's 90 ounces, about 11 cups. This might seem like a lot, but spread throughout the day, it's very manageable. Here's a good pattern. 16 ounces when you wake up. 16 ounces mid-morning. 16 ounces with lunch. 16 ounces mid-afternoon. 16 ounces with dinner. That's 80 ounces right there, and you can adjust based on your activity level and climate. Important. If you exercise, work outdoors, or sweat significantly, you need more. Add an extra 16 to 24 ounces for every hour of activity. Now, about food sources. You can boost your electrolyte intake through food as well. For potassium, eat leafy greens, avocados, sweet potatoes, white beans, and yogurt. For magnesium, pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, dark chocolate, yes, really, and wild-caught fish. For sodium, use real sea salt liberally on your food. Don't be afraid of the salt shaker if you're eating whole foods. One strategy that works really well. Keep a large water bottle with you that has measurements on the side. Fill it with electrolyte water in the morning, and make it your goal to finish it by evening. This takes the guesswork out and helps you stay consistent. Listen to your body. You'll know you're getting it right when you notice steady energy throughout the day, clear thinking, good muscle function, and feeling genuinely refreshed rather than bloated after drinking water. A few things to avoid. Don't overdo it. More isn't always better. Excessive sodium can cause water retention and bloating. Too much potassium can be dangerous, especially if you have kidney problems. If you have existing health conditions or take medications, especially for blood pressure or heart conditions, talk to your doctor before making significant changes to your sodium and potassium intake. And be consistent. This isn't a one-day fix. Your body needs time to restore proper electrolyte balance at the cellular level. Give it 2 weeks of consistent electrolyte-enhanced hydration. Track how you feel. Write it down if you want. I think you'll be amazed at the difference. Here's what I want you to understand. After 50, your body isn't broken. It's not failing you. It's just working under different rules. And the beautiful thing is, once you understand those rules, you can work with your body instead of against it. Every cell in your body wants to produce energy. Every muscle wants to be strong. Your brain wants to be clear and sharp. Your heart wants to beat steadily and powerfully. But all of that depends on giving your cells what they actually need, not just what we've always assumed they need. Plain water is good, but plain water alone isn't enough anymore. Your cells need those minerals, sodium, potassium, magnesium, to grab onto that water and actually use it, to create that electrical charge that powers the sodium-potassium pump, to produce ATP in your mitochondria, to send signals through your nerves, to make your muscles contract smoothly, to keep your heart beating steadily. This isn't about anti-aging. This is about optimal aging, about being strong, energetic, and vital at 50, 60, 70, and beyond. You're not trying to be 25 again. You're trying to be the best version of yourself at your age. Your body deserves more than just plain water. It deserves the complete package. Water, plus the minerals that make that water actually work at the cellular level. That's where energy comes from. That's where vitality lives. Not in some pill or powder or expensive supplement. In the fundamental building blocks of cellular function. After 50, it's not just about living longer. Though proper hydration and electrolyte balance absolutely support longevity, it's about living better. Having the energy to do what you want to do, the strength to stay active and independent, the mental clarity to engage fully with life, the vitality to not just exist, but to thrive. So tomorrow morning, before anything else, drink that electrolyte water. Give your cells what they're desperately asking for. And notice, really pay attention to how you feel over the next few weeks. Your body has been waiting for this. Give it what it needs and watch what it can do. You've got this. Your best years can still be ahead of you. Let's make it happen.